I want to talk about stadium and expansion, Pete. I know you know a little bit about that. Amanda Staveley's come out with a few positive comments like she usually does. Do you want to talk us through that?
Well, first off, it needs to start getting work on that now because I need my season ticket pronto, bro. I need my season ticket now.
Mad.
Because it is a madness trying to get tickets for games nowadays, particularly even at St James's Park, 52,000, and getting tickets for games is like getting the golden ticket. Willy Wonka and all that, and the chocolate factory and all that business. That's what the ticket feels like these days. But look, let's face it, boys. There's a reason why they bought the land just behind the Gallagher that was initially sold off by Mike Ashley. So, look, the situation is that they brought that land back. They're clearly wanting to do some form of redevelopment on it, but I think really as a fan base, we got excited when it was announced that they brought it back, but we're going to need to be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. It's something that they know they need to do if they're going to stay at St James's Park, which they've already said they're going to do, but they're going to need to do it right. They've got a lot of technicalities. They've got a lot of buildings around there that they're going to need to get the okays from in order to redevelop it, and they're going to need to make it worthwhile. There's no point doing all that redevelopment for an extra 4,000 or 5,000 seats. They're going to need to at least expand by 10,000, 12,000 potentially to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, what's that phase for? Listen, at the start of the season, bro, there was 10,000 people waiting just to get season tickets after we sold out.
It's going to be called the St. Maracana at this point.
Yeah. The thing about it is that these are the little things that they're going to need to develop on, because the East Stand, where we see the Newcastle sign from, they've got listed buildings behind there, so they can't be knocked down. Yeah. So that's the one that they would love to build on. And if they could build on that, we're looking at a 75, 80,000 seat stadium if we were able to build onto that, but we can't. So they're going to have to try and extend onto that. So we're not going to be looking at, in my opinion, a 70, 75,000 seat stadium unless they do something amazing with it, and something revolutionary with our stadium. But what we're going to do is probably look at around maybe 10,000, 12,000 at the maximum. So you're looking at a 62 pushing to a 65, thousand seat stadium, which is still big numbers. But that's what we're gonna look at some point, and unless they have a U-turn on the listed buildings, which is the big sticking point. So I think what was talked about, I don't know for sure because I don't know all the ins and outs. What they talked about is having a fan zone, a fan area built where that piece of land is at the moment, just underneath the Metro Centre. So if anyone's been to the Etihad, if anyone's been to Man City, you will know they've got an amazing fan area, a fan zone where they have like live bands. They've got drinking areas. They've got fan areas where away fans, home fans, and a mixed area as well. We can all kind of meet up before the game. I think they're going to look at something a little bit like that. In the meantime, whilst they're working on plans, Mihir Kadusi is an architect. So he's going to be the one that's going to put it together. So that goes in our favour. So he's going to know the right people. We've got the money because we've got the owners who can put the money into whatever it needs to be done. So we're just going to need to be patient with that one, I think, if I'm honest with you.
What does that mean for us though, the fans? Like, because again, I'm hearing stuff about the season ticket, that there was a price freeze on that for 10 years, wasn't that? So again, will that mean that season ticket price is going to go up? Because let's face it, we're going into Champions League football now. It can't be cheap as chips all the time, in comparison to everyone else. So people will have to start, pulling extra shifts here and there, man, to see these Champions League worthy footballers and stuff like that. And they're going to have to start clawing money back eventually, aren't they?
Look, it goes with every team. Every team that plays Champions League football, they need to make money. Mm-hmm. They'll get money from the Champions League, but if you're regularly playing Champions League football, you need to make money as a club. That turnover needs to improve. You're not going to get Champions League. You're not going to get tickets for Champions League football at £20. pop. You're just not, because it's the elite football. It's the top football. It's the top club football in the game. Like, that's the one that every player wants to play. So therefore, it's going to come at a premium. It's going to come at a price. And unfortunately, that's something that goes with success. It's just the reality. And as much as we'll be frustrated, because it's where Newcastle's a working class city. We've got working class people in there and that work hard all day, all week, just to have that release of going to watch their club. And it's hard at the moment as it is, but at some point they're going to have to up the prices. But our owners, they'll be considerate within that, and they'll do it they'll make the smallest jump possible, because they'll understand, they already understand the fans and the background of the club in the city. So,
hey, listen, man, if it's Real Madrid versus Newcastle on a Wednesday, them tickets ain't going to be struggled. They're not going to struggle to sell.